Why you can't get pain and suffering for a workers' compensation case. Pain and suffering is a specific type of benefit generally found in civil litigation. Basically, all the emotional pain and suffering that you go through when dealing with an injury, you would be able to get compensated for. However, in workers' compensation, they don't allow for pain and suffering. Why? Years ago, when the work comp laws were made, they made a trade off. They basically traded the ability to recover pain and suffering for the duty to have to prove that the employer was negligent. In other words, they made work comp a no-fault system, meaning anyone who gets injured at work can get benefits, even if the injured worker was at fault. But as a trade-off, they cannot get pain and suffering benefits. They didn't want to create such a high exposure for the employer, especially if they did nothing wrong. So that's why today work comp is a no-fault system, but you can't get pain and suffering. Now, that being said, you can file what's called a psychological claim, meaning if you're having emotional distress at work, you can get compensated for that. If the stress is based on workplace conditions such as harassment or discrimination, you can get psychological disability for that. If the psych is based on orthopedic complaints, meaning maybe you hurt your back and now you're having emotional distress because of that, you can still get some benefits, but not as much. For example, you can get temporary disability benefits if you're off of work because of that. You can also get future medical care. Follow up for more workers' compensation tips.